crack, and I'm like, maybe they're people that are just leaving the guy that was on TV's panel. And I'm like, no, they're sitting, they're not going anywhere. So is this Q&A, or how do we do whatever you want? I'm happy to be here in Seattle. I lived in Tacoma for a while. I was playing Ophelia, and I went a little crazy because there's no sunlight here. And I had really long hair, and when you're in a play, you're not allowed to cut your hair. And so I just got rebellious. As soon as the play was ended, I decided to floppy my head. Do you know what a floppy is? Yeah. It's a cutting device that you hook up to a vacuum cleaner. And I vacuumed my head up, and I had hair all the same length all over me. And I had to go to Supercuts to fix it, which you know that's a problem. I had to fix my horrible haircut. Anyway, so yeah, that's my Washington experience so far. And you guys have made it a lot better for me. Meeting all of you and hugging all of you and finding pictures. So anyway, I guess let's start with a question. Does anybody have any? Okay, well, thank you so much. She's sorry, I pictures like, oh crap, she picked me. Oh,
What do you think of the live-action Fairly OddParents movie?
What do I think of the live-action Fairly OddParents movie? I think it's good. And I met Tootie. I got to meet Tootie, who was super cute and sexy, and which was weird. And they wanted Jerry Trainer to play that part of Timmy. I'm glad he didn't, though. He's got other things to do. I don't know, but I like it. I thought it was cute. And I like that they used some of our people, some of the Canadian people got to actually be in it. So, hi.
What's it like being Tara Strong's arch nemesis?
My boobs will never be that big. That's for sure. It's fun. I'm the dark side of Tara Strong. She can have her rainbows. Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, when you do voice work for things like Avatar, which is very physical in its animation, how much of the finished project do you get to see of like the fight scenes or when you're screaming at various characters?
Well, I remember during ADR for Sozin's Comet, I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Just sometimes you're geeking out in the booth as you're trying to do the ADR. But that's like the first look that I ever get of things. And sometimes you'll do something that you're just like, this is dumb. And then you go in there and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. You kind of have to, it has to translate, you have to see it, and then you're like, oh, I get it. So yeah, but, so did I answer your question? I don't know. I tend to.
What's ADR would be my call.
Oh, I'm sorry. And it's a BPG with a 369. I don't know. I'm sorry, additional dialogue recording. So they'll record us doing the script, and then if there are things that they missed, and which in Sozin's Comet they missed a ton of just effort, like all that kind of stuff. So they bring you in to do, if the animators make you throw something in there, you're just like, you're like, so that's what ADR is, and that's a lot of times when I get blown away by what I've actually been working on for, however long ago. So, yeah.
Thank you.
If there's ever anything you don't understand, that's cool.
Hi. Thank you so much for signing.
No problem.
And giving a hug, that was amazing. So
I
really
always had to come around the table because my first con, they were like, don't go around the table, waste time, just lean over the thing. And so there are a few pictures out there of me leaning over, I'm not going to lie, it was embarrassing. But now I'm not, I told them, I was like, I have to sit at the end of the table so that I can get up and hug the people, or at least, because I don't know, it's weird, like, oh, hi, where's the disinfectant? I don't know. I didn't even check the disinfectant down. I was like, that's weird. It's like, ugh. $50, gross.
Well, as a huge fan, I really, really appreciate that. And as I was talking to you, you were saying that you were going to be on Legend of Korra, and I was wondering if you could maybe spill your beans and say
I already accidentally spilled beans on the internet about the Dark Spirit, and I had no idea you weren't supposed to say that, and I got an immediate, no, Grey, you put it in my mouth. I didn't even know how popular Azula was before, when I started tweeting and stuff. I just didn't know what. I went to a con with one picture of myself, and I'm like, okay, so, and they're like, Jimmy Azula, and I was like, oh yeah, Azula, oh yeah, I did that a long time ago. Is that popular? And they're like, yeah. Now I'm like, Korra's in the picture. So I just kind of was like, oh, I'm on Twitter, I'm gonna try, and then, yeah, it was not a good idea. My husband's so sweet. trending and what's on Tumblr and what, and it was like, oh my God, that thing about the Dark Spirit, that must be a big show because it's got like 3,000 retweets. I was like, what? Anyway, but so I am doing Dark Spirit because that cat's out of the bag. I can't talk about what it is. It's not Azula. A lot of people think it's Azula. It's not. I'm doing 3 new characters for the show, and they're totally different. I can tell you, one's a waterbender, which is it's interesting playing a waterbender. It's bad. Anyway, it's so good. It's such a great show. I'm so honored to be a part of it.
I love it.
And there's lots of famous people on it, so I'm like, usually I'm okay with the famous people, but there's one famous person that I loved when I was younger, and I was just trying to be cool, I was just like, oh, hey. Everybody says, oh, you're signing right under me? That's cool. She took a nice little picture. I was texting all my girlfriends from high school, like, oh my God, look who I'm on top of. Recently, I just heard from them. I finally am like, okay, I'm going to still say this. I was like, I've been playing it cool, but no, I really freaked out when I saw you.
Hi, Bert. I really love your vocal tweets. As Azula, they just crack me up and make my day every time you do one. And I guess I was curious, how you get along with Dante Basco, kind of brother and sister, but...
How's Zuzu? He's all right, I suppose. For a peasant. We love each other. He's awesome. Actually, my husband and I... Should I? No. We just went to Vegas, and I tweeted that I was going to Vegas, and I guess Dante saw it. So he's like, "Where are you? You're here right now. I'm here." He was for a poker tournament. So I was like, "Oh my God, we have to do something. We have to meet up, and have like a battle or something." I was like, "Well, let's take a picture of ourselves," and And he was like, "All right, I'll do it." And it was like really late at night, almost midnight, and I'm like, "Let's go to the Excalibur," and in front of that. The castle, that'll be because the battle for the throne. So I'm like, my husband and I are standing. I'm like, let's just meet right under the Excalibur sign, like an idiot. I'm like, maybe there's more than one Excalibur sign. I don't know. There was. So we're just standing there, and I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm under the Excalibur sign. I'm like, I'm here. Wait, I don't see you. And I'm like, Dante. And finally, I was like, okay, are you looking at the Gangsters musical sign or whatever? He's like, no, I see the whatever. And I was like, oh, shoot, it's on the other side. So we're walking around the cold. And it was worth it. It was for really bad Tumblr. Thanks.
Hi. Do you ever play games you voice act in, or watch the animated stuff you voice act in?
I don't play games. I haven't played games since I was a little kid at the laundromat with my mom playing Pac-Man. And I got way too into it. And then must have known I was going to do voiceover, so I was like, no! What are you doing? Just like, wait. Like, calm down. So, no, I haven't played it. My husband plays my Catwoman on Arkham City. But, yeah. And it was funny because when that went on Twitter and trended, he was like, weren't you in Arkham Asylum or in Arkham City? I think it's trending on Twitter, and I was like, I think so. It's 1 hour of your life or something, and there's a lot of things, so you just kind of forget what you're in until they become, and then you're like, oh, that's awesome, I did that. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi. So when we all got Diablo 3, we all had to play as wizards because we all said we have to play as Azula.
It sounds very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that sometimes comes up where you get into a new job or something, and even though you can do as many different voices as you can, you get people asking you, do the Azula voice? Or...
I think that the guys over at Blizzard, they do like Avatar, so I was trying to make it different, and but they'll direct you, and they're like, can you make it a little tiny bit touch of British, but not. Because I'm like, oh, it's getting Azula-ish. I know I'm gonna hear it. Like, how come your voices sound the same? Not that you're saying that, but people have said like, how come all your voices sound the same? And I'm like, how come you're a jerk? No, sometimes you just can't help it. Like they kind of direct you into a spot where you're like, all right. They're very similar, very powerful, and so. Yes. But I love that game, though. I mean, I just love the way it looks. I've seen a lot of the graphics for it and everything. And yeah, honestly, I'll put like a southern accent on something or a lisp or just trying to get something different, but kind of have to give them what they want if that's what they want. And yeah, but I can't see why that would be a bad thing. It sounds like a Azula. She thinks it's fine.
Hi. First of all, so worth the wait in on the 5 o'clock thing. Pretty much made my day.
This is Kelsey. We met earlier.
Yeah, I can't wait before I make that. Quick question. If the universe ever collapsed and Mandy, Sam Manson, and Azula ever teamed up, could anyone force in the world stop them, including the Avatar?
I think Mandy can handle it all on her own. Just her smiling makes the world fall off its axis.
Hi. Who's this stranger?
I don't know. I mean,
She's been my friend on Twitter for a long time, and she has this lion avatar, and I just pictured this like 60-year-old man. I don't know why. So we've been DMing, you know, and then I met, and I was like, oh, hi, oh my god, how weird.
It's the catfish situation.
So hopefully mine's kind of a basic question. Not sure, because I know, like you said, you go all over the place with your answers. Because on Twitter, I know when you and Tara, you've been to several different pony conventions, and the only reason you can't be a voice for a pony is because you're not Canadian.
Yeah.
So if you were able to actually voice a pony, what kind of pony would you actually hope to be? An earth pony, unicorn, Pegasus? Or princess, because they're alicorns. You got the unicorn power.
I would be a Pegasus. I would be a gray Pegasus with some issues. And I might get to be a voice of a gray Pegasus with some issues. Some fans asked me if I would want to voice that, and so they are making something really cool. And I can't really talk too much about it, but it's going to be out soon, and I will tweet the heck out of it and Tumblr it.
Well, until then, I'll try and draw great Pegasus with issues.
They're good issues.
Awesome. Yeah, on Twitter. You'll be on Twitter.
Okay.
See you in a half hour.
But it sounds like I farted, but I didn't. Like, I rubbed my foot.
Like on the back of my, on the back of my shoes, and
That's like, Mike's picking up everything. I'm such nervous.
Hi.
Hi.
What would you say was your strangest role?
What?
Chris Rock small.
we were doing that Star Wars thing. I was just like, I don't have impressions. I just have characters. Like, all the guys are doing impressions. So one guy was doing Chris Rock, and I was like, I'm going to do Chris Rock's mom.
Yeah, because Mandy wasn't translating. I was doing everything like this, and I'm not sure if it would have heard me or